Welcome to my third live. I am BL Compilations, aka Ren, and I'm going to start off with dancing. Oh, my pronouns are she, her, hers. So I'm going to start off with that. So I'm going to dance and then there's just going to be a little music. I have to do a quick kind of costume change, so just bear with me for that. And there we go. My lights are on. Ta-da! All right. So yes, I'm BL Compilations. I won't chat about BL stuff, or if you have YouTube questions or personal questions, it's kind of open to what those that are here are interested in talking about. Okay, so just give me 1 second, and then I'm going to play the music to start dancing. Hi, everyone. I'm back. So if you missed the beginning and came in the dancing, I am Ren, aka BL Compilations, and we're going to chat about BL. If you have questions about YouTube, if you have questions about me, it's kind of open to what people want. I'm going to try my best to read the chat. It's not my forte. Oh, thank you, clapping. Love the outfit. Thank you. So I made or designed most of my outfit. So like the bra top, I took an existing bra, but then I covered it and put trim on it and everything like that. And the belts, same thing. So cool. Have to super glue the sword to your head. Yeah, so there's no like wax or anything on the sword. I just have a headband because the sword is really heavy, so it hurts. if you have it on your head, then it hurts after a while. And then also my hair is a little slippery, so I can balance it without a headband, but the chances are much higher that it will slide off. And obviously that's a dangerous situation. So I don't think I have anything to knock on, but knock on, I guess, glass that I have never dropped my sword in a performance. So hopefully that never happens. How did I get into sword dancing? All right, well, I think we have to start with how did I get into dancing? So I started tap and ballet when I was, I think, 4 years old. And I continued that through graduating high school. In, I think, 3rd grade, they added jazz. And then I did point in high school for 2 years, which was a year and 11 months too long. Point was not my favorite. So then in college, I took a couple credit dance classes in different styles. Then I also took some workshops in different styles. So I've actually taken quite a few different dance styles. I saw a group performing at a local event. They were doing belly dancing, and I really liked it. I really liked the costuming. I really liked the music. I really liked the dance movement. So I started taking classes in it, and I joined a troupe. And I am not professional, but I have been paid to dance before. So I danced a lot at like local events, nonprofit events, and danced in restaurants. I danced at a Ren fair. So the sword, when did I start? I'm not really sure when I started doing sword. It was a while after I was doing belly dancing, though. I think I started with veil as probably my first prop, and that's fun. So if you liked dancing, I can dance with veil next time. I can also do sword. I can do a little floor work, not a lot. I can do a little bit, but I wasn't sure for the first performance, so I didn't try to attempt floor work, but I could try that too in a future one. So yeah, I think I took 1 or 2 workshops on sword and then just kind of learned from the person that was teaching our group, the choreography, and I really enjoy it. Some people even have 2 swords, which I've never done before, but that also looks really cool. So yeah, so that's the sword dancing stuff. There's a couple of questions from the last one. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I did practice a lot. So that was a lot of time, but it was worth it. I didn't have a costume malfunction and the tech worked. So I consider that to be a win. Win, win, win all around. All right. So I have, maybe we should do the plaque. Should we do the plaque unboxing before I forget about it? So I think it's over here. Under. Okay. All right, everyone. So we're going to do a plaque unboxing. So drum roll, everyone, for 100,000 subscribers. It took a little over 2 years. I started in May of 2021. So, okay. Done. Okay, get ready for the most beautiful, amazing plaque you have ever seen in your entire life. Ready, everyone? Whoop, it's upside down. No, this is the right way. It just looks backwards to me. I don't know if it looks backwards to you. Okay. La! So as you can tell, this is not the official 100K Creator Award. And the reason why is because my channel is not monetized because YouTube won't monetize me since I use clips from other series. So, oh, look, I had all the drum rolls. Thank you. Thank you. Congrats. Yeah, so this, I think I mentioned in the last live. So I'm decent at singing and dancing, but my art skills are a little subpar. So, and I have entire notebooks of elf drawings from middle school to prove my subpar artistic skills. So anyway, I made this up. I went to 3 stores to try and find something that was silver. I ended up getting clear, like some kind of clear wrap instead of silver. It looks silver, but it was not silver. Anyway, I don't even know what this is. Some kind of like vinyl something. And then I realized I should have just used duct tape. I mean, it would be silver. So anyway, this is my lovely, I should have had something I could have propped it up with. That's too far away anyway. No, you can't see that. Next time I'll put like something back here and then I'll just leave it like that. It can sit in the back corner. YouTube should buy the design from me. Sure. I mean, I took the design from them. This is their design. So this is what it looks like, only it looks nicer because it's engraved. So, oh, I made it better. Matthew says I made it better. Thank you. Look how amazing it is. So that's the unboxing. Duct tape. I know. I should have done the duct tape. Oh well. Too late now. Went to 3 stores. Okay, I have some questions from last time. People can also ask questions. Again, you can ask me personal questions. There are only a few questions I won't answer. So you can ask me personal questions, YouTube questions, BL questions. I'm going to try and keep my eye on the chat a little bit more this time. All right. So I have some questions from last time that I'll start with, but if people have other questions, feel free to type them in. So Elizabeth asked, what series was I happy that I watched, but I will never watch again because it destroyed me? So the series, which I wouldn't call it a BL series, is called The Effect, and it used to be on Line TV, and then Line TV, I don't know, kind of vanished. So at least in Thailand, I think. So I don't think you can find it anywhere officially. But I'm never watching that series again. That series is very, very intense. I don't want to spoil it in case you're going to watch it, but it has huge content warnings on it. Like, I knew about the content warnings, and so I actually took me a few months to get around to watching it because it's very intense. So I think it was overall well done, and I think there's some important messages, but I will not watch that series again. And then I was thinking of a movie, and I would say Your Name Engraved Herein. It's a beautiful movie. I think it's on Netflix, from Taiwan. Really well done, really well acted, but I'm not going to watch it again. That also has some pretty serious content warnings. There's some really intense bullying in it, and I don't want to watch it again. Maybe I might watch certain scenes from it. I might include it in some compilation in the future, but parts of it, obviously. But yeah, I don't think I'm watching the full thing again. All right, other questions. I'm trying to keep my eye on the chat too. Chaz asked in the last live, using MyDramaList as a basis, what would you say are the 2 most underrated BLs? Okay, well, I mean, I can go with 2. So what I did is I looked at MyDramaList, what I rated something, and then I looked at what that overall rating was, and then I looked for ones that I rated really highly and then were rated really low. So the first one, I actually only have one thing on MyDramaList that's a 10, which it's not a BL series. It's a short movie slice of life from Taiwan. It's called One Afternoon, and I actually gave it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was really well done. And on my drama list, it is rated 7.6. So if you haven't seen it, it's on Gaga Ooh La La. You should watch it, and then you should give it a higher rating because it definitely deserves higher than a 7.6. Oh, I'm reading. There's a little bit of delay between chat and when I see things, so we'll do our best. People are writing things that they would never see. Oh, I've never even heard some of these things before. Okay, so I see a question. I'll get to the question after I do the underrated ones. So then the next chunk was ones that I rated a 9.5, but my drama list, they have 7.9 or less. So The Novelist is rated 7.2. And again, I rated it 9.5. So it has another name. I'm not going to say the name, and please don't put it in the chat. But if you look for The Novelist on my drama list, I think it'll still come up. It has 2 different names. And then there's a movie called Just Friends that, again, I rated 9.5. And it has a 7.2. That's on Gaga Ooh La La. That movie is old. I forgot what year it's from. Is it like 2009? It's fairly old. It's from South Korea. And so there's a couple kind of quirky parts to it. There's some music in it. It's interesting, but overall, I thought it was really well done. So I rated 9.5. There's a short movie called Some More that's rated 7.5. That's also on Gaga Ooh La La. I rated that highly. The End of the World with You from Japan is rated 7.6 on my drama list. Long Time No See is rated 7.7. That's also on Gaga Ooh La La. And then there's a short movie called Step For You. A bunch of these actually are from Strongberry, I realized afterwards as well. So Step For You is a short movie, and that's rated 7.7. And then 100 Degrees of Longitude Passes Through Us is rated 7.9. And again, I gave that a 9.5. So I have a feeling that some of these that are rated lower are lesser known. So not as many people have watched them. And also some of them are more on the serious side. And I tend to think that things are fluffier, lighter, happier. I think they get a little bit of a rating boost. So this is just kind of my guess on it. Okay, there was a question in here. Now I have to go find it. What do you think of the newly discovered theory that Ray and Sand are half-brothers from Only Friends? I don't know. I don't know if I've seen that theory. I don't want to give like spoilers away for people. I actually watched, was it the first 2 episodes? And then I paused. And then I watched episodes 3, 4, and 5 this morning all together. I might have to pause it again. And then, because it's really messy and angsty, that's not a spoiler for anybody. So if it's spread out over like 2 months or 3 months, that's worse for me than if I can just binge it in one go and then watch something really fluffy afterwards. So sometimes things I might wait until they get more episodes out and then binge them all. So I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I hope they're not. Audacity. That was from Matthew. I'm reading through the comments. Yeah, End of the World is a 7.6. What in the world? I agree. Again, I think because it is darker and it's Ritsu, isn't it? Ritsu? That's the one character's name. I mean, he's a challenge. So I think sometimes characters that are flawed also, the series get a lower overall ranking. So a rating. So that could be why. I really enjoyed End of the World. I thought it was really well. The End of the World with You was really well done. Yummy said they heard about the novelist, live in Japan, can just look. It will have you in feelings. It will. And you need to prepare your soul. Yeah, it's worth it, though. It's really worth it. People love End of the World with You. Okay, fluff rates higher. Oh, there. See, I'm going down and reading, and Yummy said the exact thing I just said, which is people hating Ritsu. So I'm sorry if I'm saying the character's name wrong. Yeah, they actually do give a little bit of explanation as to why, which I appreciate. And I think there's a redemption arc. So, I mean, depending on how redemption arcs go, then I can really, really enjoy a character because, you know, people are flawed, so characters can be flawed too. You just made up the theory, Matthew, about Only Friends. Oh, okay. It can be fun to make up theories about series. Corey asked, "What is my favorite series that is currently airing?" So let's see here. We have a lot of things that are currently airing, although it does seem to be slowing down a bit in September, and I think October is going to be not as many new series too, which maybe is good to catch up because there was a lot of things that aired in July and August. So currently airing, I Feel You Linger in the Air. I'm really enjoying the historical setting, so I think that's one of my favorites that I'm watching right now. It's a little slow-paced at times. I kind of struggle with slower-paced shows. And I've heard comments about Jom, people not liking Jom, but I mean, he's got reasons, though. I won't get into it again. I don't want to be spoilery, but, you know, I enjoy it. I think we started with high school BL, and then we moved to college. I know a lot of people say university BL. And then I feel in the last year, we had a lot of workplace. So now I'm hoping we get maybe some new settings, historical, more sci-fi and fantasy. There have been a little bit of sci-fi and fantasy, but the world building I need something with really strong world building. You can be totally fantasy, sci-fi, but your worlds have to make sense within your world. And you can't just be randomly changing things just because, you know, the writer needs it to be that way. Anyway, so I'm hoping to get some more different genres, more mystery. What are your favorites that you're watching right now? Oh, I also like Love in Translation. It's a rom-com, okay? It's not trying to be anything else. It's a rom-com, and I think it's rom-comming really well. So it's only 8 episodes, and I think it was episode 4 that just aired today. So we're halfway through. And I also as I mentioned, I can struggle with slow-paced stuff. So I like that it's 8 episodes, and we're going to have the ending in, you know, less than 4 weeks. So. All right, I'm reading through. Oh, interesting. The Effect, the director of The Effect is also one of the directors in both Dangerous Romance and Love in Translation. Interesting. I have noticed, I don't generally pay attention to who's the screenwriter or who's the director, but I have noticed that if I look it up and then I see the other things that a director or a screenwriter has done, then my reaction to the current series makes a lot of sense in either direction. So I think the director and or screenwriter have a lot with how I personally enjoy a series. So that's really interesting. Thank you, Chas. The last episode was a little slow. Love Jom. Oh, good. Matthew loves Jom. People are talking. I'm reading about I Feel You Linger in the Air. I agree the slow pace does go with historical dramas. It makes more sense with that. I still don't really love it though, but it does make a bit more sense that it's slower paced. Yemi says, I think Japan would do a good fantasy BL, but I feel like they just don't cross those genres. There must be some good manga with fantasy. You know what we haven't had is the game where characters either like really go into a game or they meet somebody in a game and they think it's a different person and then they meet them in real life. I don't think we've really had much with gaming, have we? There was semantic error, but that is not what I'm talking about. They were designing a game, but they didn't actually, go into the game or the thing I'm talking about. So I think that would be a fun one to have too. Ooh, and some Academic Purple is enjoying. Okay, so the Book Huntress enjoying Only Friends and Obsessed. It's a messy one, but it does suck you in. Yeah, Academic Purple enjoying My Personal Weatherman. People are saying same to Only Friends. My Personal Weatherman. I have to see it until the very end to form a solid opinion on it. There's parts I really, really like about it. And then especially this last episode, there were a couple things that just, I don't know, I did not like. Let's see, Love in Translation. Someone else Yemi loves Love in Translation too. Nice. Dangerous Romance is delivering in the fluff department. It is. But the title is Dangerous Romance. So I was kind of looking forward to danger. I kind of wanted a little more grit. So we'll see. I feel that there's going to be some more danger around the corner. So hopefully they still include that. Even in the trailer, there was some more, a little bit darker, gritty stuff. So I would also really love to see more well-done plot twists in BL. That would be so enjoyable. I don't think we have ones that people tried to do well, but did not do well. That would be really satisfying. People are chatting about their favorites. I didn't read the manga for My Personal Weatherman, so I can't comment. It's a binge. Weatherman is a binge for me. I should just try and binge it. I should pause and binge it. But I am interested enough that that's really challenging. It is kind of some angst in it. So yeah, I should wait and then binge at the end. People are chatting about Saving Weatherman. The Gifted. The interesting thing is I feel that I started The Gifted and then I don't know what happened. I should go back and actually watch the entire thing of The Gifted. I've heard it's really good. And yeah, it's not a BL. It's from GMM-TV, right? But they should have. Of course they should have. Not everything has to be BL, but there are many times that I'll see something and I thought, this would have been better if it had been BL. Kasiki. There are a lot of cameos. And I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Kaseki. I do like cameos in series too. That's always fun. I also think it's fun when a director or something does a cameo in their own series. I think that's fun too. The Jungle. I haven't watched The Jungle. That's not a BL either, but it should have been, right? It's a mess. I don't think BL would save it. Oh no. That's sad. I was going to there's just been so much BL though. I haven't actually been watching other things. A little bit of stuff on Viki, you know, romance, K-drama type things, but another question from the last live was, do I have a favorite BL character? So I looked through my watch list and thought about it. I mean, I have a lot of characters that I really like. I would say one of my top favorite characters is from one of my top favorite series, which is History 3 Trapped. I love Xiao Fei. I love him so much. He's kind of a dum-dum, but he's a lovable dum-dum, and he does have a little bit of detective skills. So, and he has some fight skills too, so he's not totally inept. But I really liked him as a character. And I was looking at other characters I really like, and I noticed there's a theme that goes through them, which is respectful, trusting, they fight for their love, supportive, and they have good communication. So other characters that fit this, and I'm sure I'm missing a bunch of them, but just ones I thought of, were Kurosawa from Cherry Magic, Mark from Love is Science, Jiang Chi from Stay by My Side, Pisang from Be My Favorite, Ju from To Sir with Love, Alec and Magnus from Shadowhunters, and Charlie and Nick from Heartstopper. So those are some of my other favorite characters. I'm missing a bunch. I know I'm missing a bunch, but I really like Xiao Fei. And I like that little hair. That was on purpose. If anyone is annoyed by that little piece of his hair that curls out, they did that on purpose. And I think he named it Fifi. It had its own name, which is just makes it even better. I mean, I still haven't given up hope for a History sequel. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen at this point, but if they crowdfunded and had the same actors and the same writer and director, I don't know who that whole team was, but I would pay money. I would pay good money for that, to see that come to fruition. People are writing their favorite characters. Matthew, favorite BL character, Tharn. Talk to my therapist about that one. Love Xiao Fei. Oh, yes. Yemi said Andy Bion, who played Jack in History 3 Trapped, is releasing a photo book right now. He is really good looking. I agree. I haven't bought the photo book. I probably won't. I really don't buy a lot of physical merchandise. I buy some digital things that have been translated. So I actually bought on Amazon the book, I Feel You Linger in the Air. It might have a different title, but I read the first half and then I was impatient and kind of skimmed the second half. And then I read the ending chunk. I will not give anything away, but I'm looking forward to the rest of that series. As I mentioned, I'm really enjoying it. And I think they're doing a good adaptation of it. So they've changed some things, but overall, I think the changes they've made are good. And you have to change things from, written to visual. I think some things I think just don't work as well on paper versus on screen. Or, I mean, they work better on paper. They don't work on screen. So, yeah. Cringe at Tharn. Yemi also loves Mark and Owen. I love Owen too from Love is Science. The part that I love about Mark, I mean, I guess it's a kind of spoiler, it's a broad spoiler, is that he fights for his love. I think I've mentioned in a past live that I'm not a fan of ghosting, of poor communication. So I really appreciate when a character stands up for the man that he loves against the world and society and parents, and says, go fly a kite, and wants to be with their loved one. So I really like Mark. They should do a spinoff, or they should just retell the story, but way more details. I'd be fine if they retold that story because they didn't have much screen time at all, which was sad. Academic Purple has to go. Bye. Bye, Purple. We're not done yet though, so no one else leave. Glad you enjoyed the dancing. So I think those are the 3 questions I looked through the last live that I didn't answer. So feel free to ask other questions. I also need to sing before I forget. I need to do things before I forget them. Otherwise, they might not happen. Is the Book Huntress has a birthday in 3 days. And I said I would sing happy birthday to you. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear the Book Huntress. Happy birthday to you. Okay, so happy birthday. If other people have birthdays and you come to my lives, I will also sing you happy birthday. You're very welcome. Thank you for helping me in the chats. I really appreciate it. I'm terrible at multitasking. Thanks. Okay. Let's see, what else do we have here? Ideas for my next 5-minute video. All right, people, what do you want to see? So I can redo a theme that I've done before. There's been some really good food sharing recently. So I probably have enough clips to do another food sharing or sharing compilation. And one of the things they share is food. But it could also be, sharing an umbrella, or, I don't know, sharing a jacket, the whole boyfriend jacket, where the guy gives the other guy his jacket. I could do another. It sounds really weird when I say teacher compilation. It's not about teachers. It's when a character teaches another character how to do something. They're usually really fun scenes. Love and Translation actually just had one with chopsticks, how to use chopsticks. So I could do something like that. Sharing the umbrella. Yeah, sharing the umbrella is a cute trope, isn't it? I like it. I actually enjoy most tropes, sponge baths, piggyback rides, accidental falls. I like them all, or most of them, not all of them. Oh, Granny's shipping the main couple. So, yes. The tricky thing is I don't think I have enough scenes of Granny's shipping the main couple to make a whole compilation of it. So, I think I wrote them down, but I think I only had 3. They are having a moment right now. But because you have Dangerous Romance, I'm not caught up on Hidden Agenda either. I was going to binge that. Actually, maybe tomorrow I'll binge it. So we have Dangerous Romance. The grandma in Goodbye Mother is epic. Epic! So she's a really good grandma. And I think Hidden Agenda has the granny. But who other grannies are there? If I do a compilation of 3 scenes, that will be 1.5 minutes, most likely, video. I usually use around 12 because some of them aren't a full 30 seconds. Some of them are usually a little bit shorter. So I usually use around 12. Okay, people are giving me ideas. Let's hear the grannies. The Promise Granny. Okay, Laws of Attraction. That was a good one. Laws of Attraction. I'm trying to think if there's any grandpas too. Are there any series that had a really supportive grandfather? I could maybe include also just some supportive parents if we're a little bit short too. I've done, what was it called? I did one about supportive / like wingmen, wing women. I have no idea what I called it though. I don't know. I have like 180 videos. I don't remember what they're called anymore. Most of those are shorts though, so I don't have 180 of the 5-minute ones. Because as I mentioned, those take a really long time to make. So that's why they're every other week. The Ride. For Grandpa. There was, yeah, you're right. The Grandpa, there was the Minatos. Minato had the grandfather, you're right. How many are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Getting there. Okay, if anyone else thinks of any, type it into the chat, or I'm not really sure what's going to happen with this live because it's unlisted. So I don't really know where it goes. Like if it's the same link. My other ones were public lives. So they just went public as soon as they finished. So I'm not really sure what this one's going to do, but it might be the same URL, and you can probably type a comment then on there. If anyone watching this later on has a grandparent that's really supportive. My Ride. I was thinking about, it's like The Ride. Why does that sound kind of familiar? My Ride, yeah. Also based on a book, which I think I read all of it or most of it, and I liked the book. I actually liked the book more than the series because they changed some characters that they shouldn't have changed. Be Mine Superstar. Yeah, I think that would probably fit too. Superstar. Matthew says, I tried to get my grandmother to watch BL with me. She watched 4 hours. Okay, but Kin Porsche, I mean, you need to know your audience here. I think you should have gone for something fluffy. Kin Porsche told me to get help. That would be really fun to watch BL with a grandparent. Unfortunately, mine are all no longer on this planet Earth, so I can't do that. Oh, she likes dark and thriller. Okay, that makes more sense. All right. That makes a lot more sense. Yeah. I Long Nai, or my school president. So I Long Nai was just re-released on Viki. When was that? I don't know, this week, last week, recently. And so I decided to give it a rewatch because why not? Those two have a very interesting dynamic, but it works for them. So sometimes if it works for them, it works for me. And the subs are better, a lot better. But on the other hand, the terrible subs were kind of hilarious. So I kind of miss the terrible subs. I don't know. Speaking of my school present, the cast is coming to Japan in November. Ooh, nice. Fingers crossed you get tickets. I hope you get tickets, Yummy. That sounds awesome. Ooh, and you're going to a Afghan and Tainu fan meeting on Friday. Nice. That sounds super fun. Have fun at the fan meeting. I don't know if we've had any fan meetings in the US. Have we? I don't know. Probably very few in the US. I don't think there have been many in-person fan meetings in the US. So, yeah, the subs on I Long Nigh made the show, says Matthew. Yeah, it was hilarious. The My School President cast is just so adorable and talented. They are. They're really. They seem really sweet. We need to fix the BL fan meets. I'm not organizing it. I do like to organize things, but I don't know. Yes, Yemi said they just started doing fan meetings in Brazil, and Z Nunu were in Paris last week. So thinking that the US will get more soon. Let's hope. Let's hope. We can always hope. That would be fun. I don't really have too much more on my list. So people need to ask some questions so I can answer things. I did want to tell people that are here, and at some point when this is published to YouTube, that I mentioned I do like to travel. So I will tell you all when I'm traveling, and if you are in the location that I'm traveling to, I'm happy to get lunch or dinner and chat about BL in person and gush over favorite series or whatnot. So I'll be in Washington, D.C. in November. So if anyone here lives in or near Washington, D.C., or if you see this later, you can send me a message on one of my social media accounts and we'll go hang out. I don't think there's anything BL themed to do in Washington, D.C., but I can always research it and see. Maybe there's some kind of bookstore or something that sells, manga. Come to Japan. Yami, I'm going to make it to Japan. It is going to happen. It's just tricky because I travel, either with 2 generations or with 3 generations. And for Japan, it's going to be 3 generations. So it just makes the logistics of planning a trip a bit more tricky. So, but I will go to Japan. I mean, I really hope to go to Japan more than once, but I'm hoping in the next couple years to go to Japan. I would also like to go to Thailand too, but that would also be in probably a few years. That's a long. Has anyone looked at the flights from the US? I don't think there are actually nonstop flights from any of the cities in the US. But there's definitely not a nonstop flight where I am. So that's a long flight and it's expensive. Well, so is Japan, to be fair. All of those are really expensive. Chas says, still loving Only Friends and Dangerous Romance. Are you still enjoying them as much now that they are 4 or 5 episodes in? I am. I mean, so Only Friends, I know is not everyone's cup of tea, but, the trailer and marketing was very clear about what kind of series it was going to be. So I appreciate that. I don't like being, misled with marketing, thinking that a series or a movie is going to be one way, and then you go and see it and it's totally a different vibe or plot. So Only Friends was very, I think, clear about what kind of series it's going to be. And I am enjoying it. I'm still a little confused with a couple of characters and what their, motivation, end goal is, but I like that it's a lot of gray characters. Some characters are, well, most of them, have flaws. And the thing is, I don't think we've really seen why some people have become the way they are. That would be kind of interesting too, a little bit, maybe. Although, to be fair, I don't know that everyone has some major trauma and that's why they are the way they are. So, and then Dangerous Romance, I am enjoying it as well. I hope, though, that they don't remove the grit and the little bit of darker themes from it. The title has dangerous in it. So we'll see. Do both of those have 12 episodes? Or does Only Friends have 10? GMMTV seems to generally do 12 episodes and then sometimes 10. I can't remember how long each of those are, but I think we're definitely getting close to the halfway point. Oh, there might be I'm not going to try and pronounce that, bookstore in Washington, D.C. Okay, go check out it. It's a 17-hour flight to Thailand. That's a long flight. The book Huntress has to do at least 2 stops to go to Europe. Yeah, depending on where you are, some places are really far to fly to. But I guess we should be happy that we have the ability to fly and not have to take the boats that people didn't survive on and took, I don't know, months. So, long flights aren't fun, but at least you can get there generally in under a day or like less than 2 days. So one thing, I don't think it will ever happen, but if I do ever get to interview a BL actor, it would be hilarious if I could teach them how to shimmy. It would be so much fun. If that ever happens, I will try and do that because it would be really funny to watch. I'm trying to catch up in the chat. Yes, Only Friends. They're morally great, and that is interesting. I agree for Only Friends. Mm-hmm. Aaron says, hey, I wanted to say I love your videos. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy them. I appreciate everyone's comments on them, so keep up the nice comments. I greatly appreciate it. Gushing over Naughty Babe this morning was giving you life. It's a interesting series. And I've mentioned before that, it's totally fine to like different things in fiction. So I try not to, the phrase is yuck someone's yum. I try not to yuck people's yum. I do write things in reviews on my drama list, and it's not all, 10 out of 10. But if you like certain characters and plots, then awesome, with fiction stuff. People also have different, life experiences that change your perspective. So there are certain romance dynamics that I just really struggle with. So one of them is a kind of a, what's it called? A mad pixie girl, but it would be a boy man trope with a low affect character. So you have like the sunshine, happy character, with the character that's low affect. And I had that relationship in real life, and it was not romantic at all. So as an example, I can really struggle with that dynamic when I see that in fiction. It's just not, it's not my cup of tea, but you know, I understand that other people might like it, which is totally fine. In Dangerous Romance, you need the money tossing scene from the trailer to happen. Yes! I mean, I hope it doesn't go, I don't think they would make it go a certain way. But that's going to be some drama. Yes, we need to see that scene. I don't really know when that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen in the last episode, for sure. The last episode is generally kind of the resolution episode. They both have 12. Okay, so Only Friends and Dangerous Romance have 12. And also, what do you all think we're going to get from GMM TV in October? Because Hidden Agenda is ending soon. And then these two are going to be wrapping up soon too. So they're probably going to have some slots to... I can't remember. I think I saw that they were finished filming one or two, or they had almost finished filming one or two. So I'm assuming the things that they finished filming will be the things that are next aired. And then I think GMM TV also has where they maybe are at the end of filming and it starts airing, or it's not totally done with post-production and they start airing it. So maybe that will happen in October, November. Aaron asked, have I watched Venus in the Sky? I watched the first episode. I was busy today preparing for the live, so I didn't finish watching the what do we want? The avalanche of BL that airs kind of weekend adjacent, depending on where you live. So I haven't watched everything that just aired today. So I haven't seen I think the second episode came out today. Venus in the Sky. I'm not really feeling it, but it's the first episode, so I mean, I'll keep watching it. It's not, there are very few things that I would only watch one episode of and stop. I generally try and give it at least, 2-3 episodes before I drop it. And then generally if I drop something, I'll wait until it finishes airing. And then I kind of look at what people say are comments, and I might kind of watch the very last episode, because I do try and review pretty much every BL that is on MDL. So I want to give a fair review. So I try my best to watch all of it if I can, or if I'm really struggling with it, to watch the last episode so I can give a review of it. So I'm not feeling Venus in the Sky right now, but I'm going to keep watching, and maybe it will, it might change. There have been things that have gotten better as they go on. And then I've also had the reverse, where I was really excited in the first couple episodes, and then it just fell apart. Everything fell apart, which is one of the reasons I rarely include currently airing series. I might actually get more views if I included more currently airing series, but I very rarely do, because I've been burned before, and I don't want to really promote stuff that I'm not really enjoying or I didn't enjoy. So that's why I don't generally include currently airing things. Oh, Yummy thought the money tossing scene in Dangerous Romance was going to be the last episode. I don't think it's going to be the last episode. Might be episode 11. Might be the 11th episode curse. But I think in general, the 12th episode is where they resolve everything, which I don't know. I'd like to see some other kind of series arcs, I think. Cooking Crush and Cherry Magic in October and November. Oh, okay. I thought I heard Cherry Magic might be coming out in 2024, but if it airs this year, awesome. I'm looking forward to it. So My thought process with something that's being remade in another country is to not compare it to the other. I mean, it's difficult to not compare things, but I try to just watch it on its own and think of it by itself because I don't know, I just do. So I'm looking forward to it. And then Cooking Crush has Off and Gone, so that should be fun. We haven't seen them in a while, right? Since Not Me. That feels forever ago. Not Me came out. Ooh. Possibly Jimmy C's new show Last Twilight. I can't even remember the trailer for that one. That one's not as clear. Oh, so maybe GMM TV will be announcing something after this fan meeting you're going to? Nice. Cooking Crush. Book Hunters thinks it's going to be Cooking Crush and Last Twilight. Okay. Comments. Oh. Okay, Yemi's thinking it might be Cooking Crush and Cherry Magic because Afghan and Tainu are there this week in Japan. I guess we'll see. Talking about Venus in the Sky. Yeah. Let's do a heavy sigh. Talking about series that enjoyed the first half and then fell apart. Yeah, Why Are You Korea is decent, but if you compare. Yeah, that's one of those that I think you just have to watch it on its own and not compare it to the Thai version of it and just watch it by itself because they are fairly different. I don't even know if remake is the right word. Maybe loose adaptation. Question, which upcoming show am I most looking forward to? Okay, people have to refresh my memories. What are some that are going to be upcoming? I feel like we don't really know ones that are, I don't even know has anything been announced for October? Maybe is Bump Up Business going to be airing in October? I'm looking forward to Cherry Magic. So I'm curious to see that one. And I don't know, maybe I should keep my expectations low and then I'll be pleasantly surprised, But I think it could be really, really good. I think the Cherry Magic could be a really good series. So, and we haven't seen Tainu in a long time. Years. It's been years. So that would be fun to see them act together again. Oh, 23.5 might be coming soon. Oh, yeah. I'm interested in that. Some GL. Absolute Zero. Chas is looking forward to Absolute Zero. Is that in like maybe 2 weeks? I'm trying to remember. I mean, I think I watched the trailer and now. Oh no, now I remember that one. That one has I don't know if that's sci-fi or fantasy with the time travel aspect. I mean, it could be really good. As I mentioned, I like sci-fi and fantasy. I don't think you can really see my paperback bookshelf. Maybe you can see it a little bit. But it's basically all sci-fi and fantasy, mostly fantasy. So that's what I read a lot of growing up was sci-fi, fantasy, and then in middle school I started reading romance, really adult romance. And now I read, webtoons. I read BL webtoons and manga. It's mostly what I read. Oh yeah, the same company that did Stay by My Side has a new one called You Are Mine. from Taiwan. I am looking forward to that one. I'm sad we didn't get that much from Taiwan this year. I'm kind of curious what the last 3 months of the year will be for BL. I feel like we're not going to have a lot of stuff that's airing, but who knows? Sometimes things are announced really late. I mean, it's a couple days before, and then there's a series that's airing. So I don't know if we know for sure. I need kisses on Cherry Magic. Yeah, that. Yes, I agree. I would like a kiss on Cherry Magic. They're both adult characters. Adachi, I think, hadn't dated ever. But, I mean, he's 30, right? So, I mean, I don't need to see tongue, like intense tongue or anything. What series was it? I can't even remember that had so much tongue, but it was too much. And they left or I don't know if they added or they left in slurping noises, but then the noise wasn't matched to the movement, to what we were seeing. So now it's going to drive me a little crazy. I'll think of it later. Episode 0 starts September 22nd. Cool. And there's a new Japanese one called I Can't Reach You. Okay. I like a lot of the stuff that comes out of Japan. I'm totally fine with a little bit darker series. As I mentioned at the beginning, if something's really, really heavy, then I have to kind of be in a set headspace to watch it, and then I need to watch something really fluffy afterwards. But Chas says, for the past 2 years, the heaviest months in BLs have been August through October. Interesting. I feel there was a lot airing in July this year too. So maybe they got an early start. So maybe it'll be July through September, and then stuff kind of tapers off through October, November, December, and into the new year. I thought we were going to keep seeing kind of more and more BL, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're like plateauing a bit here. I mean, there's still a lot though compared to even 2018. I don't know how many BL series were in 2018, but not very many. That's only 5 years ago. So we have seen a lot more recently. I actually made charts in the Boys Love Reddit on some of the countries that make BL and looked at how many series they had by year. I'll do that again this year at the end of the year, just because I think sometimes data and numbers are fun. So they didn't kiss. Maybe they didn't kiss in Cherry Magic because the Adachi actor is too big of a mainstream actor. Oh, well. Stuff with kisses in Japan, it's usually the idol actors. Isn't this interesting though? Because haven't we had some issues with some of the idol actors in South Korea not kissing? Not all of them, but so that's kind of interesting then. In Japan, it's almost the opposite, that those are the actors that will be shown kissing. That's really interesting. Interesting thoughts. Okay, wait a second. Oh, it's like we already answered that question. What's the next video? For Monday's video, that's a short, well, hopefully, if I get it done. I'm kind of behind. I was thinking of doing Stay With Me. There's a lot of scenes in Stay With Me that would be really fun edits. The tricky thing is I didn't really do any memes or include Stay With Me in anything while it was airing because I was really nervous about what happened last time with Addicted. And I'm still kind of nervous that if it gets too popular, there's supposed to be a second season for it. I'm nervous that there won't be a second season, which would be sad. So, but there's a lot of fun scenes. So on Monday, there might be a Stay With Me short. It would be under a minute though. I included a scene in my last compilation from Stay With Me, and I think people liked it. I liked it. It was really fun. It was, I think, took me the longest to edit out of all of the clips, but it was really fun to add their made up thoughts and what they were saying and put the song in. It was just really tricky because that scene was several minutes long and I had to cut it. I don't even know if I managed to get it to 30 seconds. I think it's like 36 seconds or something. So hopefully it's okay. Stay with me, please. Yeah. I think they did a good job. They did a good job with it. So I really hope they can get a season 2. It'd be really good. But I don't know. I don't know if I'll believe it until we actually see it. With that. Yeah, there's a lot of hints. So you just need to the characters are thinking it. So I just need to either change the subtitles or add additional, dialogue or comments. Stay With Me is probably the second best BL of the year. What's your first best, Matthew? I need season 2 so I can finish season 1. I also didn't watch the final 2 episodes I just watched them. Was it this week? So I waited because did I read the first book? I don't know. I've kind of read chunks of it here and there, but I knew what was going to happen and I didn't want to see it, but I was really good. Did I answer this? What's my number 1 completed BL for the year? Your number 1 is Moonlight. Yeah, let's hear what yours is. What are your number 1s? Here, I'm going to look up on my drama list. I hope that if I do a different tab on my computer, this is fine. Hope I'm logged in. Probably not. I'm not logged in. I have to look at my ratings to figure it out. I also have to remember my username and password, which this is going to be. Ugh. I managed to remember my username and password. That's amazing. When things are logged in on your computer, and then you never have to put stuff in. Let's see. What's my favorite completed? All right, I'm going to go to my drama list completed. And there was a way I could do year and then score. Let's see if it works. Okay, I got it. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 in 2023 that I've rated a 9.5. 7, yeah. So 8 Cents. Well, one of these is a reality series, so I won't do that one. So 8 Cents, Our Dating Sim. Oh no, 2 of them are reality series. I give bonus points to reality series because, good for them. So I give them bonus points for that. Be My Favorite. Tricky thing is some of these are in, The End of the World with You. And what's this other one? Is this Our Dining Table? I really like that one too. So out of those, I don't know. I don't know if I can choose a favorite. Because there's things of each of them that I liked, and then because none of them got a 10, there's parts that I didn't like. So I don't know. I really liked our dating sim, even though it was short and a little choppy at points because it was just so short. And the 8th Sense was really good. But again, there were parts that I would have changed. I don't know. One of those, one of the ones I've mentioned is like my top. I'm reading through. Let's see. So I'm seeing a number 1 is Moonlight Chicken. Moonlight Chicken. My School President. I think did My School President, that should be up there. Why is it not up there? Did I rate it a 9? Was that did it start in 2022? Or no, did it start in 2023? Where are you? I know I rated it really high. I rated it either a 9 or a 9.5, but why don't I see it on my list? That's odd. Well, I don't know where it went. It's vanished from my drama list. 8th Sense. I rated a 9.5. Well, where did it go in my watch list? My School President. It's in alphabetical order, isn't it? Why is it not here? My School President was really good too. You're right. I can't choose. It's like choosing between children. Dating Sim was fun and cute. Oh, My School President started in 2022. That's why. Okay, got it. But the question was completed, and it was completed in 2023. For Stay With Me, I think the cheek kisses and other things should be changed to censored work to a gay romance. I mean, probably, but as I've mentioned, I kind of don't like, let's keep this on the down low. You know, those of us that watched it know what it is. So I think we just need it. If it gets too popular or too, everyone's saying what it actually is, then I'm nervous that we're not going to get the season. We already might not get the season 2 though. So it's really awful when there's a season 1 that ends on a cliffhanger and you're not guaranteed a season 2. All right. Well, for those that are here, thank you very much. I'll wrap this up. It's been like an hour and 20 minutes. So I have a question. So my next live will probably be the beginning of December, I think. So would you all like me to dance again? I can dance with a veil. I could dance with a sword again and do a little bit of floor work. I don't know a ton of floor work though, so it would just be a little portion of it. But there's also a costume that I really kind of want to do. I don't know how YouTube is really, really sensitive with certain words. So I'll just say it is 4 letters, and the first one starts with a B, and the last letter ends with an M. Maybe you can figure out. Anyway, the costume kind of is reminiscent of that. And there's a song that I thought would be really fun. Which, I forgot to say, the song that I danced to at the beginning is called Any When You Say by Cheel. And then the song that played after when I was putting on a different shirt is Meat and Fun by Of Shane. They're both copyright free because I would love to dance to other music, but I didn't want to have to deal with copyright stuff. So that's why I chose those. I use both of those artists in my videos fairly frequently. You probably, maybe even can recognize some songs that I use a lot because I like them. You missed the sword dance. Well, I think if you keep the link, then I think you'll be able to see us. Veil dance. All right, I can do the veil dance. I'll probably be wearing a big poofy skirt with it too. I mean, it's a lot of work to get ready for a dance performance, but it's also really fun because I have a lot of costuming and I never wear it. I rarely wear my costuming. So it's an excuse for me to bring out my costuming stuff. So I could do the veil one. That'd be fun. All right. I'll most likely dance with the veil next time. Maybe I'll even make it a public live. Cool. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining. And if you're joining later on, I hope you enjoyed us chit-chatting about BL stuff. So I'll have the next live will be probably the beginning of December. And I will probably have a veil dance to do. So that should be fun. And I hope everyone has a good kind of fall, beginning of winter time. And hopefully there's some good shows that you enjoy watching. And yeah, I think that's it. So thank you. Bye, Corey. Thank you, Yummy. I keep thinking about the Awesome Grannies video. Yep. I'll look it up. It might not be this next time though. This Monday's a short and then there'll be a compilation. So it might be a while. But if you come to the lives, you definitely have more of a voice with what my next compilation is. So you should come and then you can give me some feedback. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a good night, good day, wherever you are. Happy BL watching.